It's a Tuesday, which means it's update day for Black Ops Cold War, and today's update followed last week's first major title update. And while we didn't have a huge update or anything we actually needed to download, there is one big key item introduced today, along with a couple of other things that are definitely worth mentioning, but that being another map, the reintroduction of Nuketown in the Black Ops franchise. Additionally, I want to tackle a few smaller things that were hot-fixed as well as of yesterday, plus some other items you'll want to take advantage of. So today we're going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about what changed, what's new, and what you should keep an eye out for. That said, as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this new version of Nuketown? Like it, dislike it, whatever it is. Also, how do you feel about double XP and double weapon XP? Let me know below. If you are new to the channel, especially if you're a part of that nearly 67% of viewers not subscribed, do be sure to do so as we're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related. If you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. That said, let's jump into it. First things first, the big one. Nuketown was added here with this. We finally get another map added into the rotation for Black Ops Cold War, and even with its own 24/7 playlist. Now, as of right now, I've played a little bit of this, a couple of matches here on it, trying to get some first-hand experience across all the different modes, and so therefore, as time progresses, my thoughts could change, but I actually really like it so far. I think it feels a lot like Black Ops 1's original Nuketown, which is pretty solid. Visibility is pretty wide open. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Black Ops 4, and to an extent Black Ops 3, felt a little cramped when it came to their versions of Nuketown, so this one feels like you can breathe a little bit more. I did feel like some areas of the map have some clipping errors, such as where you should elevate naturally with a surface, like the ramp on the center bus. I found myself, as I was trying to kind of just walk over where it started to elevate, it wasn't too far off the ground. I thought I could have naturally elevated with that, but I'd get stuck there. That's some more minor stuff though. Spawn traps are definitely still possible, though as we'll mention in a second, I do feel like spawns flip a little easier than previous versions of the map. Fences also feel paper thin, so if you know somebody's behind a wall, definitely shoot through them. You should be able to secure a kill at that point. But again, some stuff that I noticed was that spawns in some modes are pretty bad. Hardpoint was pretty bad with those. TDM to an extent had some weird spawn locations as well, but again, having played through a little bit, spawn traps are definitely still possible. So that seems like a hurdle you may first have to tackle here firsthand, but is something we might see worked on as time progresses. We have seen that happen in previous versions of Nuketown, most notably I think it was Black Ops 4 that had some spawn adjustments here right after it was introduced. But one thing that I thought was definitely really strange was that, now one strange thing that actually I'm going back now and adjusting this while editing, is that it didn't start out actually being available in private matches. It was something that for the first 3 hours or so, you weren't able to actually access Nuketown within private matches. And that's something that we saw happen in Black Ops 4 quite a bit, if I remember correctly, where some of the environmental versions were there, but other DLC maps took a week sometimes to be introduced into custom games. But it's something that now Nuketown is available there. So if you want to jump in, just experience a little bit of what the map has to offer on maybe a more minor scale that you wouldn't necessarily be able to appreciate actually in game, you can do that yourself. Or what I want to do here is jump into custom games with some friends and play around with the Easter eggs. This one actually having two main portions here, two variations to the Easter egg. The first time we've seen two sides of this introduced since, I believe, Black Ops 3. There were two parts in that as well, but it introduces a sort of vaporwave effect to your entire visuals on the map. Now, to obtain the blue variant of the Easter egg, all you have to do is find and shoot the heads off of every mannequin in the map. If you have a party in custom games, that's relatively simple. It doesn't take too long. Other ones have been timed. Having not been able to jump into custom games myself, that I'm not entirely sure if this one is timed as well. Big shout out and thanks to my good friend Carnage Saw. Links in the description below. Highly recommend you check him out. He's the one that provided the footage here with this one. But then to get the green variant of this vaporwave effect, all you have to do is find and shoot the heads and arms off of every mannequin in the map. So a slight difference, tasking you to do a little bit more, but really not all that much different, producing a similar but different effect visually on your screen as well. But that's Nuketown in a nutshell. That is the update here that added Nuketown and what comes along with it, but it's not the only thing that changed here as of today and also last night. The next big item of interest is that of double XP and double weapon XP, the first double-double event that we have here within Black Ops Cold War, and the first time we see any modifier with double weapon XP, which is huge because that's been something we've talked about on the channel. You've probably heard elsewhere that leveling is definitely very slow within this game when it comes to base weapon levels and getting everything maxed out. If you want to go for camos or you just want to build out a better weapon, it's something that takes quite a bit of time. There's always that argument about what mode is best in MP, whether it be regular traditional modes, whether it be fire team, or if zombies is a great way to do it. Right now, that discussion is kind of just taken out of the wayside because everything is good, because for the next week here, you end up having the ability to play with double XP and double weapon XP. So not only are you progressing further through your military ranks and then also your seasonal prestiges, but also you can max out weapons much faster. As we've talked about beforehand, I definitely still would recommend Fireteam because it looks like, and this is still based off of my feeling for the game and how everything seems to have broke down on a visual basis, it's not proven 100%. I feel like Fireteam, because there is that extra added health with the armor, weapons register more XP with damage dealt and those shots landed. So being that you have to shoot more and land more shots to secure a kill, it seems like it gives more weapon XP, but definitely grind out this with Nuketown obviously offering a lot more engagements than most maps, with things like Fireteam offering more XP per weapon and match. It seems like now is as best a time as any to start to grind out this stuff. This may or may not be the only double-double event that we have before Season 1 launches, and that's when things like Warzone integration happens, and I think is probably the biggest thing you want to rank up your weapons for, that so whenever you jump into Warzone, you can have every weapon available to access and to be able to kit out however you want. So make sure you jump on and take advantage of that. But as of last night and today with the Nuketown adjustment, we saw some changes that may be considered a little bit more boring compared to other things, but changes that were made no less. Now, as for the update last night on the multiplayer side of things, firstly we saw the hardpoint spawn logic adjusted to reduce the average travel time it takes to get to active hardpoints. And then also it adjusted the enemy waiting system for spawns in Crossroad Strike and Armada Strike so that it should be more receptive on enemy positioning. In Fireteam Dirty Bomb, it addressed a UI error that could sometimes occur when loading into matches. And then for Hardcore, a big one that was changed here was an issue that Flak Jacket had where it wasn't actually preventing explosive damage from doing the full damage dealt. So that was something that even if you had Flak Jacket on, you were getting one hit by this kind of stuff and it was a guaranteed death. So that was obviously not supposed to work as it did, but it's been fixed out now so that it's working properly. For zombies, we saw an adjustment to the field upgrades in which it addressed an issue where the player could earn field upgrade charges while the Ring of Fire was currently activated. It addressed some issues that would sometimes cause enemies to use their ranged attack unexpectedly, meaning the issue that popped up shortly was that zombies would stop going in their train and just completely break away from the path and start throwing things at you like they do if you're on, say, elevated surfaces. It also addressed a rare issue that could occur when the Megaton would be permanently invincible after splitting, which is a huge pain if you've ever dealt with those things. So to have it permanently invincible, yeah, that wouldn't be any fun. And then it had a various number of stability fixes as well. And then as of today's update, we also saw some technical things changed out as well, in which, say for Crossroad Strike, it addressed an issue that allowed players to contest the hardpoint and a control zone outside of the intended objective boundary. Camos had some adjustments on the multiplayer side as well, where it addressed an issue where incorrect images would show for diamond and gold weapon camo rewards in the in-game after action report. Then it also addressed an issue where knife camos would not progress properly if it was in the primary weapon slot, thanks to Lawbreaker. Right now, it's not mentioned if the AK-47 is tracking properly in terms of the behind cover challenges, but that's something that seems to maybe be bugged from some discussion I've heard around the community as well. So hopefully that gets a fix in the very near future. And it also fixed the crash that would occur in Domination on rare occasions. For zombies, we saw a handful of issues fixed out in relation to the Dark Aether, and also Nuketown 84 in the map list for Onslaught being playable there, coming along with a brand new Onslaught Challenge unique weapon blueprint reward as well. But overall, that's the update here between today and last night and some changes that we saw within Black Ops Cold War. Now again, as for stuff to look forward to, you still have Double going on until next week, and of course Nuketown being brand new and a grind that comes along with that. So definitely still a lot to do, even though on the surface in terms of quantity we don't have a ton of stuff introduced with this update. It's some substantial stuff to keep you around and keep you playing. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. That's the update at hand here. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? Like it, dislike it, whatever it may be. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops, Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related. If you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. What else said, either way, thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.